second.
We're listening, Joe. Edit
You are live, my friend.
Welcome, everybody, to White Noise, episode 3, with a very close friend of mine, all the way from Beechwood, New Jersey. Her name is Lisa Marie, a psychic, intuitive, a healer, and a reader. She's going to be watching us perform before we even get her on and have a whole bunch of shit to talk about. How are you tonight, Lisa?
I am absolutely I'm retrograde.
Aren't we? I'm telling you, we've got 4 birth signs that are going to have some difficulty in that, and it's been happening now, and I'm one of them. Libra seems to be getting a kick in the ass, and I'm certainly getting that tonight. And I wanted to say to my crew out there, and I want to thank everybody, because this is going to sound weird but really cool. We actually had 100 listeners on our YouTube channel for episode 2. Now, I want to thank all the 100 listeners, because thank you. It really makes us feel good. And at the end of the show, I'm going to be making a quick announcement that Joe's going to whisper in my ear or send me a text or something to have you people do I don't know what it is, something about how good we are, and let us know how we perform. And if that happens, someone is going to get a 30-minute free random reading from me.
Testimonials.
There we go. Isn't that going to be something? Okay, so before we start with Lisa, I want to go on about a little bit of retrograde in the September 1 and how it's going to affect some zodiac signs. And I'm not going to get too far into it because we got a lot of stuff to cover this evening. So that's going to be a little bit crazy. So let everyone know that this journey in retrograde goes on from a heavy duty September 23rd until October 2nd, which is really crazy. But right now it's insane because of our full moon that we had. That was ginormous, and it was really working, and it was our first moon for the harvest moons, one of the first of 3. It's going to be, it's a collective moon, and it's sitting where Virgo sits with us. So Virgo identifies us, makes us a little bit calmer, not like I am right now, but makes us a little bit calmer, and makes us look at things logically. Even all the other 8 signs are going to be safe, but the ones that aren't right now are Aries. Sorry, Aries, you're having lots of issues with this. This is where Jupiter goes into your first house. So if you're into astrology, you're going to be gaining a lot of confidence, but you're going to be losing it at the same time. So it's like one day you're going to feel good, the next day you're not. Like, there's something that's really going to go insane there. And it's going to be lingering up until November for Aries. So your decisions are going to be really, really hard to do. And I would suggest to smudge your home, and in all due respect, smoke if you have to do it that way. Smoking your home is the same as smudging. I'm just respecting the Aboriginal side because they don't like too many people using that term, but I use it because I'm a little bit there. So it's going to be okay. The other part about how Aries will look responsible towards themselves, they tend to, sadly, sometimes blow things out of proportion, not feel very confident about themselves, and still walk into a china shop like a bull. So Aries, just take it easy. Everything is going to be okay. Now, closer to my heart, and she lives downstairs, by the way. She's the wife. It's Gemini. Oh my God, Gemini.
My daughter, thanks.
There you go. So right now, they are trying to find themselves in a place where they are they're trying to be perfectionists in every category of their life through retrograde. And what that's doing is it's sending a positive attitude towards them, but your bad habits are going to start showing up, like overdoing it, overcompensating, taking care of us too much, recognizing your own faults and sharing them with us when we don't really need to know, Gemini. So just like bring that down a level if you can. it's kind of fun. And I'm just worried that when Jill goes back into the comedy scene, which is my wife, and she is a professional stand-up comedian, that she's going to start talking about me soon. And I'm really scared of that shit. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know, because she wants to know what it's like to be married to a psychic, and I think that's going to be borderline psychotic, I think. But anyway, Geminis, you got to take it easy, take the process going, recognize when you are opening your mouth not to. That's all I'm saying. 2 weeks of it, 3 weeks, so, but 2 weeks of it, and you're going into the second week. My friends, and I have a very close friend who is a Virgo. Now, Virgos, oh my God. Here we go. You have a tendency to fall apart in 2022. And with doing that, your ruling planet is Mercury. So, right off the bat, you're looking at holding on to every penny that you have. All of your belongings need to be categorized and seen where they are, because you'll end up calling the insurance company because someone's going to steal them. And how I'm saying this is our next door neighbor is a Virgo. He just had his truck stolen last night. So there's things that happen that we have no control over. And those are the things that we go, maybe astrology is real. And we just have to not take it with a grain of salt, but recognize that we have to pay attention to that. So Virgos, pay attention to your belongings, hang on to them, or it's not an umbrella in a subway, okay? We can let that really, it was a shitty umbrella in the first place. So switch it up. And lastly, for Virgo, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Once you get it all figured out by October 2nd, when retrograde is over, you have all of those things to go and work with. Number one, I'm a Libra, and here we go. So us Libras, since September 9th, we are the prime target for things to fuck up. We know how hard it is to stay in transit. We will feel like it's the end of the world because we can be dramatic. We can feel absolutely out of our minds because we try and make everything level, make it easy for everyone, love everyone, give them hugs, doing all of that. But when I'm saying that, we're going to do it and we're going to have bad breath and they won't want to hug us. So I'm just saying, let it go. Take it easy. You're all attractive Libras. You're all good people. Stop trying to put on the makeup to look like Bozo the Clown. Like, these reflections of what I'm looking at are very difficult for us to hear, but we're being very rough on ourselves, and we will be until October 2nd. But after that, your interviews for jobs, your opportunities for a new business, your friendships, all of those exceed their expectations, because now we're in the month of Libra, where Mercury will re-enter ourselves and begin to create less tension than what we've had for the last 10 months. So please take it easy, be more spiritual to yourself, hug your grandchildren tighter, love your kids a little bit more, but proceed with caution until after October 2nd. There we go. That's our Mercury in retrograde. I'm going to try and go live on Instagram sometime on Friday and do the other 8. But right now you're settling for the 4 because we're the ones in trouble, not you guys. Okay? Well, thank you very much. Here we go, Lisa. So what is your birth sign, by the way? You said it at the beginning.
I am an Aquarius.
Oh, Aquarius. So you know that Aquariuses have the opportunity to change things, to resolve and evolve. You're all educators, which is kind of funny. A majority of you are. You take life seriously. You can overcompensate for others. The love and energy is always unseen by others because of what you do behind the scenes. Isn't that kind of crazy?
Amen. Yep.
I know. So what part of the United States are you from, my friend? Because we know the accent. I know it, and I love it.
I am a born and raised Jersey girl. And no, it's not Jersey. Nobody says Jersey. This is something somebody made up somewhere. I don't know. We say coffee and dog. Yeah.
Those words do have a drag to them for sure.
Yes, they do.
but it's okay.
Mhm.
So you and I have known each other for about a year or so now, right?
Yes.
And
Almost to the day. Almost to the day. It's very,
really,
yep.
that's kind of crazy. So, um, did you hear about me from anywhere special? Was it a podcast? I don't remember any of this.
Okay. Jim, I was led to you.
Oh,
I watched we were flipping through the channels one night
right.
and I came across Knock Knock Ghost.
Good old knock knock ghost.
Now we watch a lot of like, ghost shows and
Hmm.
stuff, and I always get very annoyed being an intuitive myself when they're walking around and everything's a demon and everything they're screaming and yelling. And then I fell on Knock Knock Ghost and I watched Jim very sensibly walk through a fort and very sweetly move people on that needed to move on. Now, why did I like this? Because that's the kind of a person I am. Most of the non demony entities
Right.
deserve to move on. Like go. And but some of the psychics out there either are lying, some of
Mhm.
them, not all of them, but some of them are told to let's ratchet it up for TV.
Beautiful.
And every time they walk around a corner, there's a demon, he's evil, this one, so the way the way Jim was talking, I said, wow, look at this guy. Look at this guy. So about a month later, I was listening, weirdly enough, to Astonishing Legends.
Oh wow.
And yeah, so Scott and Forrest, and Jim was being interviewed. Again, I was blown away. And I said, now come on. This guy is Canadian. I don't know him from nothing, but like I've seen you, I saw you on, within a little bit of time, I saw you on both, or I heard you on both.
Hmm.
And I said, that's the guy, because I was going through a spiritual crisis at the time. I was either psychic or insane, one or the other. so, so Jim was the one that told me probably not insane, or insane and this. So,
Thank you. But you understand yourself now. When we worked together, we had some life coach sessions, but instead of the life coaching of a sense of reality and what people had to do, you were more being life coached on your abilities as an
mhm.
intuitive, your abilities as a healer, and to see what's going on. And it's not that there was a little bit of doubt only because of the auditory that we hear, the
Mhm.
tactile things that we're looking at, the visual that we see, and then all of those things were reacting after you just putting them on hiatus for a little while because life got in the way. And
And
now,
Jim, I'm going to tell you the weirdest thing about this whole thing
mm,
is I'm claircognizant. Like I can do other things, but my
yes,
claircognizant is the most powerful.
it is.
And having that in my head, it's not like seeing it or hearing it. It's just
You,
there.
can you explain it to the audience that we have? Because
Yes.
it would be really good.
Yes. Claircognizant is you get things just by thought, thought forms, images like that just pop up into your head. And people will ask you a question that you have no business knowing, and you just know the answer to it. And if somebody asks me to read them, I usually just look at them and I'm just getting a stream of information, almost like it's being fed to me. So now I know it's my guides because I personally aware of them now. But you were the one, Jim, that told me not to be afraid of it, not to
No,
be
yes.
scared of it.
And this is the thing that I'm hoping to bring to the show, and I talk about it on any podcast that I've been invited to, that the good psychics, the good intuitives of any denomination will be coming out of the woodwork because we're not going to chastise you, abuse you, make fun of you, or tell you that you're crazy
Mhm.
because we're going to be listened to more often. And that's not a narcissistic way of having a conversation. That is just saying that we and many others who are even better than us out there will be coming out, and we will want to listen to what they have to say so that there can be some more peace in our beautiful universe of ours. So I'm glad that this is happening. And you're just another part of our foundation to grow. And I've listened to you and I've learned from you just as much as you believe you've learned from me. So there's always give and take for good psychics that are not ego driven, because we're certainly not ego driven. Look, we're both living in our basements.
But you know what? It's a nice place to be. There's lots of things down here.
There is.
You chased a lot of them out.
And it's a good thing. When you talk to your clients, I know through quite a few, believe it or not, that you give positive reflection and good messages for them that are coming. How, when you get those feelings and you have those, are you now just starting to feel better about coming out and just saying what's on the tip of your tongue from the spirit world? It's just coming out now, right?
Yeah, and you're reading me right now. I can hear you. I can feel you. And absolutely, that is what happened. It was in the beginning, I was very hesitant. I would keep names. I would get the name Jackie and say, oh, I'm just making this up and everything. And then somebody would tell me, well, my brother Jackie or my sister this. And I'm like, oh God, I just have to say what I'm getting, what's getting told to me,
right,
and just let it out.
And that's what we find as psychics when we're being very, very truthful to the energy that we're receiving, and we're blurting this out. It doesn't come from us, and we're going, am I really going to say that? I'm going to say that to you, and I'm waiting for either the hang up, the slap in the face if you're seeing someone in person, or get the hell out of town, get out of Dodge, I'll call the police on you. But most of the people that I've learned to talk to are getting a message because I'm giving them something specific, a name, a situation, a time and a place for all of these things. And you're able to get some of that as well. And it's powerful information for the person that's receiving it.
The coolest thing that I think ever happened to me is once you're connected, and Jim, you say this all the time, once you're connected to a person psychically, you are connected, I think, forever. Because I was driving down the street one day and I kept getting this name, Stewart, right? And it was, you were small in a schoolyard. And I'm like, who is Stewart? And at first you said, I don't know a Stewart. I said, it's an older guy. I think it's a last name. And you went, oh. But it was a weird driving down the street moment. Sometimes I don't have to, a lot of times I don't have to read someone that I'm close to. I'm getting impressions as my day goes on. And I think it happens to you as well.
It does. That's when I can reach out to you, which I have, and just said, hey, today you're going to stay in your pajamas and you're not going out. Like, stay indoors because this is not going to be a good day. It's going to be an emotional day and things are going to take place. Yep. And that's when I feel like a stalker to people, because I can go to 50 million different people, right? And all of a sudden, someone that I read 10 years ago, and I'm going to text her or email her and just say, you know what? Today, you need to protect yourself. Today, your family's going to be hard on you. And they will go, oh my God, that's what happened. That gives me affirmation to continue doing that. But at the same time, I'm waiting for that anvil to drop on my head and just say, you're talking like off the wall. This doesn't mean anything.
Do you know how many times, Jim, I have been sitting here and stewing in my own stuff, and I get all in caps, Lisa, from you.
Right.
And I know you feel me. And then you continue and you start talking in the text, and I'm like, oh, yeah, there's no crazy going on here.
And you're a few hundred miles away. I've got Jill in the next room, and I'm going,
wow,
she's having a shitty day. Do I want to knock on her door to see if she's okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I will get up on my 10-minute breaks and run over, and she's just saying, "Holy shit, what a day!" And
Oh
I'm
boy.
just going, "I lit the candle. Everything's going to be okay. Just take a breather. You know, make me a sandwich, and then come back and but you know, we're as intuitive as we are super healers, and we feel things that other people should be feeling, but we block it off because of our fears.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you have stepped up to the plate. You are practicing your craft, and people are listening, and people are respecting you, and you're feeling better about giving that information now, where 6 months ago you wouldn't dare.
After you told me to cut the shit
Yes,
and just do it.
yes, because our fears are our worst enemies in our psychic world, because we don't want to be wrong, and we don't want to be looked as a clown, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's kind of crazy how we operate. And I forgot to do something for us at the beginning of the show, which I need to do right now, by the way. Okay. So it's really important. I love that one,
We waited all our lives for this, Jim.
We have. So, how long have you had these abilities? On
Oh,
a serious note.
since I was a kid, but I didn't have a lot of people that either A, believed it,
Right.
B, uh, some of them believed it, but didn't want you to say it out loud, because my mother's generation, if you opened your mouth, you were in a mental institution immediately afterwards.
Hmm.
So would shut me down, shut me down, shut me down. But I had this weird ability to know what was going to happen to someone, to know I'm an empath also. So like know when I walk into a room what's going on. Um to know what if somebody's crying, why they're crying, if they've lost somebody, if they lost their job, it just happens. And in the beginning I was discouraged from it. And as I got older, it intensified. So some people say it's more when they're little. Not me. As I got older, it intensified, 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 and that is why I got a hold of you, Jim,
Hmm.
because I couldn't do it on my own anymore.
And all we did was we got you to start grounding yourself a little better. That was the first thing that we needed to do.
Hmm.
That white light session that we had really brought you back to who Lisa should be, in a formation wise of, you're not crazy, because you were hurting emotionally on that level. I remember. And then we did the best thing, because of all the dark energy and the crap that you've put up with. We did that mirror thing and inverted a mirror around your white essence, and that removed almost everything at that point.
That's beautiful. And do you remember how scared I was in the
Oh,
beginning?
yep.
And I tend to carry a lot of guilt around with me. So Jim, said, you're never going to go any further than this if you carry that guilt on you. He said, it's a ticket to Looneyville. And it's I have to say, I'm not 100% not scared of it anymore. And something I asked you one time that was beautiful and said, this guy's for real, is I asked you, Jim, sometimes when I'm talking or I'm reading somebody, I feel like I'm full of shit. Do you ever feel like that? And you said, all the time. And if you don't, you're not a good psychic.
Because we're an information highway. Before the computer era came, we got
Absolutely.
information in a flash that could come across from the other side of the world. And
Hmm.
people are only realizing that about the intuitives. We can walk on any face of the earth, communicate with someone, and work on that. We have the remote viewers, which really freak me the crap out,
Love
and they're good at they're great at their craft, and how they perceive things and what they see, and it's coming out of nowhere. And when they draw it and describe it, that isn't bullshit. they're doing it. Somebody was on TV, which I really enjoyed. They wanted to test the remote viewing through science, and this guy said that I'm drawing all of this. He was drawing an old part of San Francisco Zoo. And that's what this guy was thinking, and that's where this guy was. And that's why I like that part of it. And that's why we as psychics, we're not trying to outdo each other.
Mhm.
The good ones are not trying to do that. The shitty ones are always trying to put us down or make us look bad. And those are embarrassing people. But when we get a good group of psychics, we don't look at each other as you're more powerful than me or you're better than me. We're sharing our experiences so that we can grow together better and give proper help to everybody, which is what I think you've been doing since I've talked to you.
And Jim, I'll tell you, I've been to a few different psychic teachers before.
Mhm.
Everyone I've been to has told me, "Do you do this for a living? Why don't you do this for a living?" And I would sit there and my head was going to explode. I would say, "Are you out of your mind?" Because you remember that amount of self-doubt I had.
Mhm.
But it took you and your no nonsense attitude and all of that to bring it out of me. I needed that. I
I was
needed a kick in the pants.
I was a little blunt, but that I found that my blunt attitude, but giving, and then being a passive aggressive type psychic has worked for me because
Mhm.
I am saying sorry for some of the information that I'm passing on to someone because it's not always nice,
Mm,
you know. And to everybody out there, we will not tell you when you're dying, so drop it.
I know.
It's I don't know how many times I get asked that a week is ridiculous. Or is my husband gonna die
Oh
soon? I'm
God.
going, this is not what I'm being paid to do. I'm not gonna answer that. I'm not a god or this higher power that has that information for you. And go find somebody else that is going to lie to you and tell you that.
Mhm.
Sorry. I just wanted to add that in. I'm looking at some of the questions here. We've talked about so many things. So this is 2022. What is your
Mhm.
plan for the next couple of years now with your abilities? You're growing exponentially. You're moving forward. You have more confidence. You know.
Well, I am a teacher. So what I've noticed is that and I teach people from other countries. What I've noticed is that it's not just growing here in the United States and Canada and everything. I'm hearing this from every single part of the world, how interested they are. So, what I'm doing right now is I have been reading people and seeing who I can find out there. And I can usually feel if somebody has psychic abilities.
Right away.
Yep. So, when I feel them, I start the questioning and seeing how they are. So, I'm very good at pulling stuff out of people. So maybe that is something that I'm going to pursue. I think it might be. So like helping people find their paths. So of course I want to remain a teacher for a while. I've been doing it for 25 years, but also start reading a little bit more. And it's hard for me and yell at me, Jim. It's hard
Hmm.
for me to accept money because as a teacher, people say to me all the time, "Do you take money for teaching?" And I say, "Yes." And they say, "Why would you not for this?"
And I'm on people about that because I'm going to
Mhm.
tell everyone right now. If I gave you a reading and it was free and it would be over and over and over again, there would be no respect for the information that we're giving, and you would not follow through on some of the things that we are
Mhm.
giving you as information because, oh, they'll fix it, they'll change it, they'll do this.
Yep.
And when someone has to pay for information, it makes them think twice before they make that decision. And whether it's right or wrong at that point, they had the information from me or you or any other psychic medium or psychic or intuitive of any value. Giving you that information is important that you pay them for that because that's the respect that you're giving them. It took me
Absolutely.
a very long time to do that because
Yep.
my mother, when I was young, said, "You don't do this for money." And I'm
That
going,
that's a
"Okay."
very old school thing, though,
It
I've
was,
noticed.
it was. But
Mhm.
I think it was, I don't think she really finished everything that she said. It was, you don't do this for money to steal money from people. I'll give you an answer and you give me 25 bucks, I'll give you an answer.
Mhm.
It is, I have some answers for you when you ask me some questions and you pay me for them.
Mhm.
So it started like that. The reading side of it is fun. I enjoy that. That's where I'm in my element. I'm sitting with you today. I'm more relaxed than I was with the other two guests and friends and everybody else that I had because I'm in my space where I'm not threatened,
Mhm.
right? So, and you feel the same way because we're just sitting here rock and rolling, right? So
There you go.
it's always very
Mhm.
good for us.
And I'm
Um,
Catholic, so, you
yeah,
don't take money for anything if you're Catholic, you just keep giving.
and I'm trying to learn how to properly denounce myself from Catholicism. I am just saying when somebody I and we say to everybody, "Yep, we were born Catholic. Yep,
Mhm.
I was hated. I was the devil. I was this. I was that." And I'm just going, I'm done. There's no, I'm just saying I'm of no faith whatsoever. I believe in the universe and what the universe has to offer. And they look at me very weird, but they accept it, right?
But you wanna know something, Jim? It really does help me to this is the part that helps me. Having like, I'm a big angel person, angelics,
Yes.
because I have a lot of them around me, and they have helped me several times. That's another thing I wanna pursue is are, like, angelic readings, but what I found is that if nothing else, the Catholic faith has provided me with symbolism that I can use in readings. So there are a lot of psychics like this that use like Mother Mary.
Yes.
Uh,
Because they've
they'll
been,
use Saint Michael. Yep.
and all of that has been done by man and their words. And if you look
Hmm.
at the Egyptian and the tombs and the hieroglyphics and the information given, they show so many different things that are not worldly that we don't want to understand. And now we are because we're pursuing that because of all the information that we're getting on a daily basis. But
Absolutely.
I I am there are angels, there are angelics, but it's like someone stole those and they belong to that religion. And it doesn't happen that way,
Hmm.
because I'll see an angelic around somebody that is just, to me, a horrific person going, what the hell are you doing with him? And they'll just look at me, everybody counts, we'll fix them.
But you know something? Somebody said something very cool to me one time. They said, you know how you call that one, there's something that you call a daemon, like a
Yes,
demon.
yes,
And you said, I heard demon. And I was like, oh no, no, don't send that over here. And somebody said to me, there's a balance. If you're doing Old Testament
hmm,
stuff, you have to be afraid of the angels,
yes, you do.
not the demons.
No,
Mm-hmm.
and and this is where we have to take our faith and what we believe in humanity
Yep.
and watch how these people are because their energy is what we see, and we're there empathically trying to understand them, or if they require some help or some information, we'll give it to them. But the darker side of that is they will take it all, use it to their advantage, and take
Mm-hmm.
advantage of people that way and hurt them. So there is a balance of good and evil. I use the dark as much as I use the light, and people think that's freaky, but it works.
I'm afraid of it because I remember I said to you, I can never be a witch. Now, I have nothing against Wicca or anything. I have to
I
tell
know,
you that 100%.
me
But
neither.
what scares me about it, and I said this to Jim, you had the greatest answer. I said, well, I'm afraid of anything that I can use to hurt somebody. So like, like if I can make a spell and hurt somebody and you said something like, well, we're kind of like that now. You
Yeah.
just don't know it. And I'm like, oh no, you're already there if you really wanted to.
I had a hard time learning that our words are very, very strong towards people
Mhm.
that want information. And we can use those words in a powerful way, but to show love and admiration and respect. And when I'm telling someone, you better go visit a doctor, when was the last time you saw a doctor?
Mhm.
I'm not there to tell them that they're not doing well. I'm just being told by their guides that they need to go see a doctor. Take those words because I'm just giving you another information and it's important. And that's why we're all healers. We all do what we need to do. We're loved by people that we give them a little bit of a hug or just a text out of anywhere and just say, hey, Lisa, or whatever. It's important because we know that we're down a little bit and we're going to be okay and we're going to move forward.
Absolutely.
We all have to do that. I need to get, it's 9:36. We're going to go 2 more minutes, Joe, and then we're going to start reading a couple of people. What do you say? Are you coming on to say yes or no? Are you going to find yourself? Where are you, Joe? Come on.
Sounds
Come on.
good to me.
We missed you, Joe. We missed you.
I just have one more question that's really, really interesting. And because I know how my family handles me and my new family,
Mhm.
15 years with my new relationship, and her, my wife's family is non-critical. They're very, very nice to me. They might not understand everything that I do, but they don't try and make it look bad. So my family, I've been blessed by them accepting me for who I am, no matter how weird it looks and sounds. And they're not judging me. If they are judging me, I don't know. Sorry if they are. And I can't read it because it's about me. But when I walk into their home, when we go visit them on a weekend or we're talking on the phone, it says it's an everyday thing. I'm Jim Hunt, the son-in-law.
Mhm.
I'm Jim Hunt, the nephew. It's so cool. Or I got 7 adopted aunts all of a sudden. So, and they're all amazing.
And I'm Aunt Lisa.
There you go. And it's so, how is your family handling your abilities now?
I will tell you one thing. It is one of the things that also made me seek you out because my family is a little hesitant. Now, my children have
Mhm.
abilities, all 3 of them.
Yes.
The youngest one is the most accepting of them. My oldest girl is very she calls me the witch. And I was saging one day and she said, "Don't put any of that voodoo on me," because because she knows it's real. She has had visitations,
Mhm.
but is very wary. She's a very afraid person. The youngest is like married to it. It's there.
It's a part of her.
My son, who it swirled around him when he was younger like crazy. Like he had angelics around him, he had visitations from spirits, he had all of slamming doors, everything. But it was more comfortable for him to push it away because he couldn't control it. Now my husband was born and raised Catholic. And I think there's a little piece there, and you have told me so, that is not sure about it, that I'm not going to go all the
They,
way over
yeah.
here or hurt him or hurt somebody else in the process because he does believe in it. But I don't know whether he trusts that I know enough, even though I do now, that I know enough about it to protect myself and my family.
And I think that's where he respects that. And it's a work in progress with our families at all times because we really need to be careful. And we do need to put out warnings to them and we do need to help them as much as they're helping us. If they believe us, then we're going to give them something. But it's like everybody else that we do a reading for. They
Mhm.
either take it or leave it or just mull it over, but don't they know that they're not going to abuse their power to talk to us and fix them, and I'm not abusing my power to fix them or put them in harm's way. So
but do you have you have telepathy also,
yes,
right?
yes.
So my husband and I have wicked telepathy, and I think it really freaks him out to some point. Not, I think, I know, because we don't even have conversations anymore. We know what the other person is thinking. And somebody said, "Oh, that's just because you're similar." I said, "You couldn't get two people that were more dissimilar in life." So no.
There we go.
Hmm.
So this um, this is, I'm just trying to say it properly. It has always been an honor for me to work with you, to watch you grow exponentially the way that you have. I do respect everything that you're going through. I don't see everything that you're going through, but you're a completely changed person since when I first met you a year ago to maybe the day. And we've,
And I have only one person, and I know you're going to do the but I have, I can never repay the gift that you have given me. I really can't. So if you guys are looking for somebody to partner with or get out there, please, Jim is not only the real deal, but he's not a bullshitter either. So you can take somebody that walks around yelling demons, or you can Jim.
and just like, demons, there's a few. Don't
There are
worry.
5 demons in here, and they're all after you. They're gonna kill you.
So thank you very much for coming on and being my friend and doing this. And this was an honor, and I do appreciate it. And this is I do want you to stay on, and I'm going to do a couple of live readings. And if you have some input, say, Jim, shut up for a second. I got something to add. I
Well,
don't
the
mind
honor is all mine. So
the balance of this. So thank you for everything. And all righty, Joe, we're ready for Stephanie here. Are we doing Stephanie or the other Lisa? I don't know.
Stephanie, Lisa first.
Lisa first. Okay. Lisa is cool. She was a client that we thought was you.
I knew this. This happened for a while.
It did. Lisa,
Hi, Lisa.
Lisa, meet Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Oh, awesome day. Hi, Lisa.
How you doing? It's great being the other Lisa. It's always good being one. There's a lot of us.
So this is the live part, which a lot of people look forward to. And I'm keeping Lisa on with us, Lisa, so that we can share some information together about you. And it is a June 1st baby, right? And you...
That's correct. And just so you know, you guys are a little late, so if I seem like I'm not answering when I should, just give me a second.
No problem. We got it all. So that's going to be kind of cool. So here's the, I know the year. Lisa doesn't, and I just don't want to share your year unless you do yourself.
Don't share mine.
No, I won't. But Geminis are going to have a difficult time until October 2nd, and I'm very sorry for that. So decision making is going to be more difficult. It's going to be scrutinized at every level by every authoritarian figure. And what's worse are the people that are jealous of your abilities, Lisa. Mm-hmm. That is going to be the problem. So people are going to look at you and they're just going to say, oh, here she comes again. She's got this under control. She knows exactly what she's doing. And you do, and it pisses them off.
There's a woman saying, who does she think she is? She's not this. You know, I'm better than her. I don't know who this is.
Probably work.
It is.
Ugh.
But as we know, Lisa, this is where it's going to change. After October 2nd, Geminis get 3 positive years of employment at any level that they want to move themselves into, or go into business for themselves, or become a mother, or not want to become a mother. But
they're done that, yes.
Exactly. But the whole idea behind this is that your creds are going to be looking at you, and you're going to be so respected after so many years of bullshit of what you've had to put up with. So
Boy, I hope so.
it will be your turn to shine. It will be the financial gain that you've been looking for. The love interest of, if you've lost a lover, you're going to get a new one, and someone that won't have the skeletons in their closet that they've walked around with all their lives. So these are great things that are going to come about. And to my other wife, who's a Gemini, I'm not a bad skeleton, so give me a break.
Of course not.
But
You're just a learning opportunity.
exactly.
And also, you have a mama bear vibe. You fight for your little ones when
Yes. My work children.
Your work children.
Mhm.
That is why you. Oh my gosh, that's it.
So what I'm getting at here for you, Lisa, is that the changes are difficult right now, and they are difficult. It's uncanny how they are. There's nothing that has worked for me properly in the last 3 days, but at the same time, I've been introduced to a new network that's coming on TV, and they want me to do some narrating, and then they want me to take care of certain things, which I think is amazing. I just don't know if I'm ready for it, because then I get nervous because I don't think I have that narrator's voice, but we'll just see.
Sure you do.
And we
Oh,
lost
we
her.
lost her.
Looks like
How'd you do that, Joe?
No, it looks like we're disconnected.
I think she might have lost her
She's
connection.
just
Her
1
feed.
second.
No, listen. Well, just because what time is it? Oh, yeah, we can do a few more minutes, and then we'll have to go to Stephanie for sure.
Okay, here she comes.
Here she goes.
There she is.
You know what? I forgive Joe because
I don't know.
I put Joe at such a panic mode at the beginning today, and then Lisa in the
My
middle,
fault.
I put her in a panic mode, and then you, Lisa, trying to
I
explain
can't
things.
hear.
You can't hear?
I can't hear.
Well, I don't know why.
Kind
See, I hear you loud
I
and
get
clear.
really close. I can hear you, but you don't want to look up my nose.
You know what, Jim? I was just going to say to her, I swear to you, I said, you're experiencing technical difficulties. I swear. And I held back. I did it again.
And you can't.
I can't hear you guys.
I know.
You'll hear it on the next broadcast. Lisa, we love you, and I'm so glad that you came on. And
Jim,
thank
you see what I did? I fucking did it again. I said you're going to have problems with technology. It was in my head, and I was afraid to say it. I did it again. Yell at me.
There you go. Joseph, I think we're ready for this this April 7th baby.
Oh.
So we're going to be talking to Stephanie here in a second. She's got her little tape on her protective mode. There she is.
Oh, Stephanie's a little beam of light.
Hi.
She's a little being of light.
Little.
So Stephanie, you might have been hearing, you haven't, I don't know. Lisa's going to stay on because she's a great intuitive, and she's going to even enhance this reading for you tonight.
I'm
Okay.
excited about that.
Okay. So perfect. So we're talking about Aries right now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Do you know if you were born in the morning or night? I feel at night.
You're right.
Okay. So the night babies are the creative babies and the moody babies.
I am moody.
So am I. My wife will attest to that, and I'm a Libra, But here's the thing. Your creative side is what makes you angry, because you have so many ideas that are thrown at you, and you're trying to hold yourself back from saying you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Please be quiet. I have something to say. And they try and put you in a corner at all times, Stephanie, lately. And it's not a nice thing, is it?
No.
Okay. I was trying to figure out some notes. And Lisa, part of this young lady's being is, I think you're going to go into business for yourself eventually, right?
It's not the plan. But
Really?
Yeah, I have a career that I love.
Are you reading me, Jim?
Well, maybe. Stephanie, what I'm picking up here is what do you do for a living? First off, may I ask?
I'm a teacher,
Beautiful. So
but I teach kids.
and that's amazing. There's another part of your degree that you need to move on. There's going to be a administration side of you that is going to take over in about 4 years that you have no choice. You are going to be considered somebody that will change part of the education system. And that's where I see you going into business for yourself once you realize the money that's going to come into that, because Aries love money. And what is going to happen here is you're going to create some kind of form of education that the school boards will use because of your creativity.
But she's this is a big but. You are being, because you're a good teacher, the curriculum and the stuff that they're pushing you to do all day is getting in the way of your creativity. You know how, believe me, I know how curriculum works, and it feels like you need to push past that. Don't let them box you in and say, we want you, here's the curriculum. When you feel like you have to bust out of that, please do. Just do it.
I kind of do that. I do my own thing.
Mm-hmm. Always.
And you
Second guess it.
You have to continue doing that. You do have to worry about Mercury in retrograde on a spiritual level, because you're going to feel like your body, especially for Aries, because you're going to feel like your body is in a vice. You're going to be controlled by your environment, which is upsetting for me because that happens to me quite often. But for you, that's not a normal thing. But this year it is.
Okay.
And it's going to be very difficult on your emotional side, because you tend to paint a picture of a beautiful smile and you always use that. But behind closed doors, there's that anxiety that is attached to you, which is holding you back on everything that you're doing. And it pisses off a relationship because you are concerned more about what you need to do for the business over a relationship at times.
Mm-hmm. And the kids absolutely adore you. Yes. And you're very protective of them.
Yes.
Protective of them. Yeah.
So your year, I know your year, within 1 year, either the person that you're with or the new person that's going to wake up and be a part of your life will accept everything about you, where you're going to lose it on them, because that's a natural Aries thing to do. Sorry, you will. But they're going to accept the way that you're giving us shit or complaining about your day and take it out on us, because you're going to give back twofold whatever you've said to us. So it's a beautiful thing. The big deal for you is in the next 3 years, because are you not planning on taking some part-time courses? Is there something that you're trying to specialize in now, or you're just saying, I've had enough education?
To be honest, I mean, my family always tries to push me to reach higher. So to
Right.
be an administrator, go back to school.
Right.
But I actually love being in the classroom, and I love knowing that I could make a difference in these kids' life. So I don't want to sit behind a desk. I want to be challenged. I want to be stressed. I want to go crazy. And then at the end of the year, we're like, we did it. Look how much you grew. I like what it brings to me. I like that satisfaction.
You're a freaking anomaly, Stephanie.
Yes, you are.
But it's beautiful, because I have a soon-to-be 6-year-old in grade 1 that would just love that attitude that you have. And
good.
I feel like she's been doing this for a lot of lifetimes.
Really?
Yeah, yes, because you have this aura around you. Remember when you popped in and I said, "Oh my gosh, you're like you're shining."
Yeah.
That's what the kids are attracted to. The kids are like, you are a safe haven for a child. And the smile, even when you don't mean it, even like when you're like ready to scream and they are attracted to you, and all they want to do is, now you're going to think this is weird, smell you and be in your essence. Does this make any sense to you? Like not smell you like this, but just be in your essence, like be around you.
Well, physically, last week, one of my new students was like sniffing my leg.
Jim,
That's never happened before. And it was so awkward and
it's
weird.
this child. It's this child.
This child probably comes back from your past life. There's a contract between the two of you. And you have a lot of contracts from your past lives that have to deal with your family who are pushing you at all times.
Okay.
Because you were the one who was pushing them in the past life to be better, to do things. And it's weird, but you were all farmers, and you were all farmers in Europe. Like, you were tilling the land, you were working it, it was hard. You were the female, but you were the matriarch. You didn't not screw with you, and you stopped your work at 1 o'clock every day, and you started at sunrise. And at 1 o'clock, you would make a meal for 17 people.
Wow.
That was your job, and you did that over and over and over again until your late 80s. And no one lived that long back in the day, but you did.
I'm tough.
You had 23 grandchildren and I think 18 great-grandchildren.
Wow.
And that's what I'm being told in your last life. And you took care of every single one of them. And to this day, when you meet someone that gives you a hug out of nowhere or says, "Do I know you?" Those are part of your family past, that they recognize you, they don't understand it, but they believe that they've been a part of you. That's why your mother is so protective of you.
She really is.
Stephanie, and I'm seeing you as an older, I'm not right now. I'm seeing in your future, you are going to have one of these kids that you're going to make such an impression on. This child is going to have a hand in changing the way we perceive, like, just not education or just like a little thing. Not education is not a little thing, but like change the world. And it's like having an astronaut in your class that landed on the moon. You're going to have one of these people.
Privileged.
Oh, absolutely.
I hope so.
And when you see it, I hope I'm around so you tell me.
And I need
It's a little boy.
I need to say this. There's going to be some form of electronic book that you are going to create for every child that will be in your class that they'll be able to take with them and use in the next class or the next class. And they're going to use that as their own little schedule because of what you're teaching.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a lady behind you saying the little bear, the little bear, the little bear, like just a little bear. Like, it's not even a big teddy bear. It's just a bear.
Okay.
But it's not a real bear. It's a stuffed bear.
Little stuffy kind of thing.
Look for it because it's important. Oh, you have it.
Yeah.
See, you didn't shut up this time, Lisa. Good job. So what's happening here is that is your totem. And if you look up the bear totem, you're the protector, you're the leader of the pack. Winters are slow for you. They're unhappy for you.
They're horrible for me.
So you just, and it's not that you just want to sleep through the season, but you want the season to be over quickly.
I don't have energy. I need my zest.
You do. And what's happening here is, I think you need moonstone, you need a little bit of citrine, I think maybe some cedar beads as well, and that will return your energy back to you that's depleted every day.
I have a lot of depleted energy every day.
Okay, but that's because you exhaust yourself by taking care of all of us.
Yep.
Now, I know Joe's looking at me and going, "We're almost out of time," but, and we are. Is there anything that you would like to know from this guy? Is there something that we're missing? And
Ask.
you also, Stephanie, can get my email from Joe and ask me a private question as well, so that we don't have to share all of this on the air.
Okay.
Okay. But is there anything specific?
No, I don't think so. I just think, like, am I on a good path? I think that's all I want to know. Like, am I gonna be good?
You're already good.
You are. I think your precise side of you to excel and be excellent in your craft and not make mistakes overtakes your anxiety and creates a little bit of depression. And what you need to learn from that is that you're not, I'm going to swear here because we have to, because it's a good word, you're not fucking up.
Okay.
You're not. You're a leader. People want to be around your energy. Old school teachers are learning from you. The other teachers are learning from you. The TAs that could be in your class are learning from you.
Okay.
You give it to us all. You haven't stopped smiling in the whole 20
Mm-mm.
minutes that we've read you.
And you know how good you are. So when you hear the other people, just shut your ears. When
Okay.
you hear these older teachers saying, she does this, like which you hear sometimes, I want you to close your ears up and just keep going. Chug along, chug along.
Yeah.
Just keep doing what you're doing.
Okay.
So from us, Lisa, from me, from Joe, I want to thank you, and I want to give you this. Hang on. It's going to happen. It's amazing that you came on and we had you and we enjoyed every minute with you. And it's an honor to actually do this. I love doing this kind of
I
stuff.
love it. It's so exciting. It's interesting, and it's nice to like hear like little bits. It was really nice chatting with you both.
And this is when Lisa says I shouldn't say something or I should. When you buy a pair of shoes or the new pair of boots that you're being told to buy,
Just spot them.
oh, you did? Could you check the box to make sure they're both not right-footed? Or did you already do that?
No, we did that. The
Okay.
lady actually looked. But
Okay.
it's funny because at the store there was two that were, I don't know if they were right or left, but they were two of the same, and I
Stuck
couldn't
in there.
I was just worried that you were going to get that and you'd have to do all that and take it back. It's just that
Maybe
was-
it's another pair.
maybe it is. I picked
Careful.
it up from a very, very old lady beside you on your left who loves you. And I don't know who she is. She could be a grandma, but she is so protective of you. It's unbelievable because you have her eyes.
Okay,
So you know her.
I think so.
Okay. But she sends you love and she practically bear hugs you and just, she misses you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for all of this. Lisa, Stephanie, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Lisa,
Yes, my friend.
really, this was super to have you on the show. I hope we get you back another time and not so frantic.
Yeah.
Nobody has any clue what we just went through. But I want to thank you so much for being a part of this. And this is episode number 3, and let's hope we have 300 and all of that will work. Joe, can you come on for 1 second? What am I supposed to be doing to offer people? Because we want them to.
Yeah, we want people to leave reviews on your Spotify. We want to grow that channel.
Mhm.
He's a ghost, isn't he? Look at him. He's a ghost. I can't see him anymore.
On video, they can't actually see
He
me,
is.
so it's all good.
All right.
There we are. This guy's amazing, by the way, and I just like thank you so much for everything that you do. So, Joe, you say it, and we're going to do it. And I know that there's a 30-minute reading for someone randomly if they start going on and liking us or something.
Yes. If you leave us a rating on our Spotify channel, we will randomly pick one person on the next podcast to have a 30-minute session with you free.
Beautiful. That's awesome. Why are you selling it like that?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Lisa,
Yes.
lovely guest. And, you and I will be talking down the road because
Oh,
I know
yes.
that Joe's going to hang up on us in a minute and he's going to hang you up and hang me out to dry and everything else. And, this is for you and this is for Joe. And I want to thank you again for
Thank you. Thank you for being you.
Thank you. And I can't wait for all of this. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of you. And Lisa, thank you for everything tonight. Okay.
Thank you.
Take care, kid.
Bye.
Now.
I got lost